Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on the last fight that I got into. Because, I think people need to understand that everybody has a breaking point. You know, I'm more so doing this episode kind of just to motivate people out there to let them know, like, hey, leave individuals alone, because if they catch you lacking, like, it's gonna be bad for you. It ain't gonna be bad for them unless you know some fighting stuff and you know that you can actually defeat this person in a fight, then okay. But if not, you don't know what that person's strength or their level of strength is, fam, leave that person alone. That goes out, because no, the thing is this, I feel like that there are a lot of kids out there that don't know their strength. Like, if you actually work out, hit the gym, even as a kid, it don't even matter, bruh. Do push-ups when you're in elementary. That's one thing where I had to say, like, nah, shout out to my dad, because instead of, whooping me as a kid, my dad had me doing push-ups, because I did get in trouble a lot. No, I ain't even gonna lie to you guys. I got in trouble a lot. Like, I had to say, when I was in elementary, I had to say my first grade and my fifth grade, those were the only grades I didn't get suspended from school. Every other grade, kindergarten, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, got suspended. All right, but it was fifth grade, because fifth grade I moved and so I ended up going to a different school. And then first grade, I don't know. I can't remember why I didn't get suspended that way. Yeah, because I wasn't doing anything crazy. But no, like, the funny thing is that the majority of it was fighting. And I'm like, because no, I think kindergarten, I think that's what it was, is that I slapped a kid. And I think it's the same kid that I'm going to be talking about, for this last fight that I got into. But I slapped a kid I think my kindergarten year. Second grade, I punched the kid in the back of the head. Third grade, what was it? What did I do second grade? No, second grade, I think it was when I had took this, so the kid that we'll be talking about, the kid that got into, like, the last fight with and stuff. So I remember me and him was fighting over a toy, and we were, like, kind of playing tug of war with this. So I had let the toy go. Toy comes up, goes, like, just clean across his face. All right, ended up giving him I think it was either one or two black eyes, regardless. But it messed him up in things. And I think it was my third grade year. I had, then that's when I had punched this kid in the back of the head and stuff for laughing at me. And then I'm telling you, that was one thing, was like, I've said that before, where I'm like, I don't believe in the bullying stuff. I know it happens, but I guess more so it's like, speaking for myself, I don't believe in that. Like, I stand up for myself, So I'm like, it gets to, and the thing is this, I'm not going to say that I'm undefeated when it comes to fighting. No, I lost the fight. I remember there was a kid that was picking on me. He was bigger than me, and a lot stronger. I'll admit, I lost that fight. That was something where I was like, nah, I'll take the blame on that one. I should have known other people's strength too. But anyways, but no, like, it's something where I'm like, no, just don't do that. All right, don't try to put me in that scenario where I'm going to be getting bullied. I'm not with that, So anyways, so yeah, the last fight that I got into, bro, it's crazy how I still remember this, because it was something where it was like, it wasn't even like more so like, how could I really put this in words? Because it was something that I've never seen before from myself. Like, that's something where I think if I were to do that today, like what I did to that kid, or not to a kid, but to do it to an adult, like, no, I think that adult's gonna be going back home, like, bloodied up, bruised, all that stuff. But I think, like, with kids, like, you don't really have all your strength. Like, yeah, you might have some sort of strength that's there, but it ain't, like, all of it. When you get to your adult years, that's when, your strength really starts kicking in and stuff. So, but anyways, it was Halloween. And for as a kid, me and Halloween, I love dressing up. Every year I dressed up for Halloween. I think one year I was Spider-Man, one year I was the Incredible Hulk. One year I was Bob the Builder. I like how I was like all the guys that I was as Halloween, like they were all white. I'm like, not that I have an issue with that, but I'm just saying, like, as a kid, bro, like there could have been Black Panther could have came out years ago, bro. Like I'm saying, but I'm trying to think. Oh, and then this particular year I was Freddy Krueger. So I remember where, like, cause like, no, that was the thing about like, dressing up. So, all right, so actually, let me backtrack. So, the school that I went to was a blend between an elementary school and a preschool. So, the preschool was kind of like, well, it wasn't really so much as a preschool. It was more of it was a daycare center and stuff. So, like, cause my mom had like worked across town, and where I had the school that I went to, because there wasn't really, I'm trying to think, I don't think there is any elementary schools like in downtown Seattle and stuff. So yeah, we had to like look at other schools and things. So there was this school in West Seattle called Gatewood Elementary, and it was like, yeah, it was a daycare center in a school and stuff. So, anyways, so she didn't get off work until like later on that day. I got out of school like maybe a few hours before she would get off work. So, of course, I had to sit in there and wait because there wasn't no buses that took me to my house. My mom had to pick me up and drive because we went. We had like lived in a different like part of Washington at the time, and then because it was like, yeah, it was just it was the better school compared to the schools. I was pretty much on some like everybody hates Chris stuff, but instead of catching, what is it, like he had to catch like 2 buses, I just had to get a ride from my mom. So, but anyways, so yeah, that's how that situation went. So I was at the daycare center. This wasn't like at the school part. It was in the daycare center. So they had us go into the gym to, just kind of like hang out, play around and all that stuff. So we're in there. And I remember he kept coming up to me and he kept calling me. So I was, did I mention that I was Freddy Krueger, by the way? So then, no, that's what I was actually getting ready to say is that at that daycare center, like there was preschool kids that was there. I think that's why I was calling it a preschool. But anyways, but no, there was preschool kids that was there. And when you would dress up as like a scary character, it wasn't even so much as the fact that they were traumatized. They were just more so confused, like on like, what are you? Like, what are you supposed to be? Like, you see all these other kids dressed up as like dinosaurs and their favorite superheroes and all that stuff. I come through in a Freddy Krueger outfit, or you see some other kids, they come in like the Scream outfit and stuff. I'm telling you, it was just so funny seeing their reactions. Like, I wasn't that kid that'd be like, unless they was like, if we were, going along, because then that was the thing though about that daycare is that, you were cool with everybody. Like, yeah, I was like, you being like a older elementary kid, yeah, you was cool with the preschool kids because they would be in there just saying some funny stuff. Like, I'm saying, like, there was at times like some of those kids would be doing things and it's like, no, this is funny, this is entertainment. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm like, no, it's like you gotta look at a parent and be all like, hey, your kid, he kind of weird, but he's funny though. Like, so anyways, but I remember I was Freddy Krueger. And so this kid, there's this man, I'm telling you, this kid, I always had an issue with him. But for some reason, me and him was friends. Like, we were like, it was so weird. Like, we were friends, but we would fight with each other. Like, we would be genuinely mad at each other about stuff, right? Like, it was crazy. And so that's something where I'm like, that's not a friendship. That's like one of those things where it's like, nah, I don't want to be friends with somebody where it's like, oh, I'm friends with you, but I'm constantly fighting with you. Like, bruh, I could think all the way back because I remember I slapped him, I think when I was in kindergarten. And then I think it was either the second or the third grade, but it was one of those 2 grades. I remember I let the toy go and it slapped him all across the face. He always like, because no, there'd be times like where he would just be doing some old weird stuff, right? Like there was a couple of times where it's like, because it wasn't even me, like there was other kids that he was annoying. Like, fam, he even annoyed his own sister. I will never forget his sister. We were at recess. His sister hauled off and slapped the life out of him. I'm talking like, fam, literally slapped him hard. Like, it was one of those, let's just say if my sister were to slap me like that, I'm putting her in the Kurt Angle lock. Like, no, I'm literally flipping her on the ground. I'm taking her ankle and I'm twisting it as hard as possible. If me and my sister was remotely the same age, like if we were both in elementary, because my sister, she's years older than me and stuff. So but for that guy and his sister, I think she was a year older than him. I guarantee and I promise you, if me and her both went to the same elementary school and she slapped me the way that she had that girl slapped her brother, no, I'm saying like I'm legit putting her in a hold. Like I'm hitting her. I wouldn't even have known what a Batista bomb was, but I would have hit her with a Batista bomb, regardless, because I wasn't even watching wrestling at that time. But let's just say I'm like no, like on straight on that concrete, I'm like no. She's getting Batista bombed if she slapped me the way that girl slapped that guy. So, but I'm telling you, like he was messing with some people, and so, but no, like I think because I've done like multiple takes of this episode, so I can't remember if I said that in the beginning, but I do remember when I very first went to that school, he was like one of the first few kids that started messing with me, and I think that's why I had slapped him, because I was like, no, you're not going to be bothering me for no reason, okay? I ain't did nothing to you. You're gonna leave me alone, and so yeah, I think after that point, like he was overall like we were cool with each other after I slapped him, and then of course we had our other run-ins, and then fourth grade, then it was Halloween and stuff. I'm dressed up as Freddy Krueger, so he comes up to me and he keeps calling me Freddy Cougar. I swear, this kid was on some weird stuff, because it's like, I can outrun you. I'm stronger than you. Why are you messing with me? Like, bruh, just leave me alone. I'm not even bothering you. I think Grand Theft Auto 4 had just came out. So I remember there was me and this one kid. We will always sit down and we will always talk to each other about not Grand Theft Auto 4, San Andreas. So, no, me and him, because bro, this was like the one kid where it was just like, if I had any gaming buddy, it was him. All right, especially back then, it was him. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, like I promise you, like at that time when it very first released, there was no other game that a kid was playing. All right, up until like I think that next year the PSPs came out. Then of course everybody they kind of just forgot about like the just any other stuff, because the PSPs they went crazy. And so but San Andreas, oh my god, like I'll never forget, me and this kid, we would sit down for hours talking about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I remember we would be at that daycare center just sitting down talking about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. We went to this 3-day camp, just standing in line, waiting around, talking about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So this kid, him being a witness, okay, I wish I could have called him in, but I don't even know what that kid is doing anymore. But anyways, but no, so me and him are sitting down, we're talking about San Andreas. The other kid comes up to me and he's all like, oh, Freddy Cougar. And I'm like, what are you doing? What, bro, go away, get out of here, leave me alone. So he's still continuously calling me, and I'm like, bro, if you don't leave me alone, I swear I'm gonna do something, okay? Like, don't, just please leave me alone, all right? So at some point in time, he gets like, you know how like with the like there's like these like kids mostly be having them and stuff, but there's like this like plastic like ball, like it's a plastic small ball, probably like maybe like around the size of a like baseball, or maybe slightly bigger than a baseball, but it's this like hard plastic ball. So he comes up to me and he's like, I'm gonna throw this ball at you. I'm like, bro, if you throw that ball at me, that's it. It's over. I'm like, I'm not going to stop chasing you, all right? I'm going to get back at you. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but I'm going to get back at you, all right? So he throws the plastic ball at me. I get up. He just darts out of the gym. Gone. Left. Nowhere to be found, all right? So at that point, I sit back down, continue on my conversation, and eventually the teacher was like, hey, it's time to go back to the daycare place. All right, cool. All these kids all walking out, right? I seen something kind of like, moving around in the door area and things. Didn't pay no minds to it. So eventually the door closes. I open the door back up, and I forgot to tell you guys, he was dressed up as a pirate, all right? So I probably should have called them something to, annoy him, but I was like, nope. I had let my actions speak a little bit louder than my words that day. So I open up the door. This kid, no joke, grabs his plastic sword, hits me across my arm so hard. It honestly, it felt like getting whooped a little bit. And I was like, and it just catches the arm. That's what it felt like. But guess what? It wasn't my parents, or it wasn't my mom. No, it's this kid. You caused that amount of pain to me? No, we gotta fight, all right? So, anyways, I remember pushing them against the wall. Literally, all the kids come rushing out and stuff. Or, like, there were some kids that was already there. Then there were some kids that came running out. I'm just laying into this kid. Just blow after blow, bruh. Straight just laying into his stomach, his back. Just straight, just going off on him. Going off. And so the funny thing is that his sister also went. I mean, of course, like, because it was him and his sister, and they both went to the daycare place. I know she had to see all of that. She had to be standing there watching all of that go down. You would have thought, like, okay, like, you're going to jump in and help her or something. Bruh, I'm telling you, when I say that this kid annoyed everybody, he annoyed everybody. And the funny thing was, like, his sister, she was still cool with me after that. Me and the sister are still friends on social media till this day. Till this day. And that happened. I'm telling you, it's one of those things where it's like, you have to understand, like, how annoying a person is when their own sibling don't even jump in and do something. Like, if she would have put me in a chokehold or whatever, because, like, no, the thing was like, we all did, like, kung fu and stuff. I think I had stopped after I got to the yellow belt, because I'm like, nope, I don't like the teachers, and I'm like, because I'm gonna mess around and get smart with one of them and stuff, because the way that I'm gonna talk on that kung fu like school class, wherever it wants to be and stuff. I'm gonna talk on that at some point in time, because nah, man, that place was crazy. And so, but anyways, but yeah, I'm just going off, punching this kid left and right and stuff. He's just all out on that wall, crying, screaming, all of that. So then the teacher, she had to come up from behind me, grab me by my arms to prevent me from punching him and stuff. And yeah, I'm going off. I'm yelling, and I'm like, bro, I told him to leave me alone. He didn't listen. And that was something where it was like, every ancestor, like, that lived in me, like, they came out that day. Like, no, they seriously, they caused harm today. Like, that kid got jumped pretty much by all my ancestors. And I'm like, to that kid, I'm sorry that had to happen, but I warned you, okay? Like, that's something where it's like, people need to understand this, all right? Because we're in a day and age now, like, even though I told that story, and if some of you guys find it comical, then that's on you, but that's something where it should be a learning lesson to a lot of these kids out there, where it's like, you keep continuously messing with somebody. That was in the day where, and I mean, yeah, it was after, because I was like, that was like back in like 2000 and something and things, but it was after the Columbine shootings and stuff. Sorry for getting dark, but at the same time, we're in a day and age where I heard kids, I think younger than me, when that situation went down, brought a gun up to a school. I don't think they shot a student, but they shot a teacher. And I'm like, even for teachers, I'm like, bro, if you find yourself having to talk to, like, constantly getting a kid in trouble, calling mom, whatever, I'm like, bro, this goes for teachers, this goes for students, this goes for everybody. Leave people alone, all right? And I understand, in the teachers, like, point of view, they were like, oh, well, if the kid is acting up. No, my thing is this. I guess, like, if I was a teacher, I would try to sit down and talk with that kid, because I feel like you don't really hear that too often. The thing is like, that was something that I never really liked about school, was like how quick a teacher was to call your parent. It's like, you already know what's going to happen when when you call my parent. So it's like, fam, that's not going to, if anything's, it's just, all right, like, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to, but it's like, if you actually sit down and guide this kid to be better and stuff, I feel like if I'm going to be a teacher and I'm going to be guiding a kid, to their adult years, I'm going to give them some guidance, but I'm not going to be, put them in a situation or have them underneath this mindset where it's like, if they get in trouble at their job, their boss is going to call their mom. Like, come on now, like, that's not, no. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be, actually treating these kids like, if you so-called claim a kid as a young adult, it's like, okay, treat them that way. But it's like, don't, like, oh, gotta call your mom, gotta do this, gotta do. So yeah, that's why I was like, but I mean, even outside of that, but it's like, yeah, kid versus kid, it's like, yeah, kids, like, leave other kids alone. If you find yourself being a bully at your school, bruh, Leave them alone. All right. It's like just because there ain't no need for that type of stuff. All right. There ain't no need to be messing with no kids. That's why it's like throughout the years, like, cause no, I'll admit when I was in elementary, like I did, mess with kids and stuff. But it's like, but as you get older, you're like, there ain't no need for it. Like I get it when you're a kid, but as you get older, like middle school, high school, it gets to a point in time where it's like, bro, why? Like, it's like, it gets to it, like, I wasn't on no, like, bullying type stuff, but, like, no, like, I would mess with, like, random kids and stuff, just, just out there having fun and things, but, like, the bullying things, though, like, that's where it's, like, at any given point in time, like, you should not be carrying on like that at all, because it's, like, all right, the thing is this, it's either going to be one of two things. You're gonna be at school one day. All of a sudden they going, and this is as dark as it's gonna get. You're gonna be at school one day, all right? If the kid don't catch you, they gonna mess around and catch somebody else. That blood is going to be on your hands, in your mind, that you caused that kid to snap. You caused that kid to go crazy. And I'm telling you, it's like, people, you guys gotta understand that stuff ain't cool, bruh. It's not, so that's why it's like, it's one of those things, because it's something where I'm like, people, you need to understand that it's like, there's no need for it. There ain't no need to be out there bullying no kids, messing with them and any of that stuff, even messing with them. I'm all like, bro, I felt bad for even messing with kids. I'm like, let alone bullying them. I'm like, bro, I had been trying to track these people down and been like, hey, like, I like to apologize for how I was carrying on, when I was a kid and stuff. They were like, bro, who are you? Like, I don't know you. I don't remember you and stuff. But that's the thing. I'm like, it might not be no stuff like that. It might be like that stuff carries on with them. Like, they know of that and things. And so, yeah, it's like, people, stop carrying on like that. There ain't no need for it, because it's either you're going to get beaten up, or it might be on some stuff like that. You get beaten up in the hallway, or this kid might be trying to take your life. And so it's like, it's one thing. I feel like we live in a day and age where it's like, you hear about school shooting so much. It's like, bro, I'm saying, people, stop with that. It ain't no need for it. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. I ain't gonna do no promo stuff because I feel like this is a little bit of a serious episode. So anyways, thank you guys and peace.